What's going on, Tamers? It's your boy Dave from DigiGuard United, bringing you guys another meta snapshot. Unfortunately, your boy is under the weather, but we guys from DigiGuard United wants to bring you content as soon as possible. So I'm out here struggling, but I'm gonna make sure I get you this meta snapshot as soon as possible. That's why I'm doing it, even though I'm dying. So apologies if I sound nasally or cough during the middle of the the video or anything. Just giving you that heads up. But yeah, let's jump into it. So we have organized play events, June Ultimate Cup. This is EU's Ulti Cup that just happened this past weekend, and we don't have the amount of players, but we do have top 16, which is always great. This is what we're here to talk about. And first up, we got Imperial that won this tournament, which is kind of crazy. This is the first BT16 free Ulti Cup, big tournament, whatever you want to call it, that Newmon did not win, even though Newmon did get second place. And surprisingly, Magna X wasn't the one that won, which is crazy to me. It's Imperial. But top breakdowns we have is 4 Newmon, 3 Lugar, 2 Mirage, 2 Magna X, Imperial, Phoenix X, Machine Drill, Yellow Vacine, Justmon. There's gonna be a couple decks we're just gonna rush through, like Newmon and Mirage, because we already know what they look like, so we're not gonna talk too much into it. So let's hop into first place, Yousef Mulus, Imperial Digimon deck list. Jeez, these ads always popping up. I believe this deck is a little extra spicier compared to others. Yes, this is the one that I heard about. It's pretty cool. So Imperial, what to do. You try and DNA to your Pyuja, pop off with the Pyuja, go into your Imperial play. Make sure they don't try to do anything fancy with Dragon mode, and you can evo into fighter mode. But again, this build is a little bit different. It's kind of crazy, right? So you got your 4 Vmon searchers, of course, the Wormmon searchers, of course, your promo Vmon that lets you evo for 1 cost, 1 reduced cost of 1. Wormmon starter main. When on play, you can digivolve from the trash into a free or insectoid for a reduced cost of 1, which is pretty good. He's running the new X Vmon. The new X Vmon has rage, and then on play when digivolving, you can choose a Digimon that can't be deleted by battle, I believe it is. Yeah, it can't be deleted in battle. So like pseudo jamming type of thing. And then of course your X Vmon that gives you the memory with DNA. 4 of each of the XV and the Stigmon that gives you the memory with DNA, because this deck can gain a lot of memory with DNA digivolving. And the starter deck of Stigmon that lets you play for 3 costs if you have a blue in play. And Togumogumon as that like pseudo blue or green. If you don't have one or the other, you could use this as your other option. And for anyone who doesn't know what this one does, this has blocker and armor purge, and then all turns once per turn when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top Digilusion card one of their Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no sources can't attack or block to end their turn, which is a solid stun card. As you see, you have your Pyojimon, so he's like super aggro. These are both the best Pyojimon in my opinion in this deck. The starter deck, bottom deck at 6k or less, and then swing, suspend, swing. The new Pyojimon does basically the same thing, except a little different. You just suspend everything, and then you're able to when attacking unsuspend if things are suspended. So it's pretty good, right? And then only 1 of the new Dragon mode, and then 2 of the old Dragon mode. This lets you be able to evo, and then you can play out a little 4 lower, I think it is. Yeah, 4 lower blue or green Digimon, so you can play out both. So I think the idea, that's why he's running more of this, is so you can have a super aggro turn, be able to swing up here with this, maybe go into Pyojimon, swing, go into Imperial drag mode, be able to potentially keep turn with that, DNA again, swing, get super aggro, and then you go Omnimon for game, right? After you do all the shenanigans. So you could definitely have a crazy OTK potential turn with this style deck, I think, which is pretty cool. He has 2 fighter mode aces, with Fighter Mode Ace is a really good card, we already know. And then Hammer Spark at 3 of. Again, I think that's why he's the idea of what I just said he's trying to do, and that's why he has a higher number of this dragon mode. You could potentially go, even if you don't swing with like an XV mod, you can swing 2 checks with a Pyodramon, go into the dragon mode, DNA again, swing another 2 checks. Again, if you're able to swing with the XV mod and it lives, that's a 5th check, and then you go Omni for game. That's an OTK potential. It's kind of crazy, right? Then he's running HPD for the free Evo, of course. Blue card, which is interesting. For anyone who doesn't know what blue card does, while you have a tamer in play, you can use this card without meeting the color requirements. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You may digivolve one of your Digimon into one non-white Digimon card among them without paying the cost. If you don't, add one Digimon card among them to your hand, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. So I guess if you're not seeing the dragon mode that you need, or even maybe like Omnimon, if you think about it, right? Actually, no, you can't do Omnimon because you can't Evo into a white Digimon. But like, you know, getting your dragon mode, be able to set up, especially he's running low count of his dragon modes, only 3 total, and then 2 aces, so it's only 5 in total, which is kind of crazy. So I guess it worked out for him, right? And then he's running 2 invincible dragon insect fusion. This lets you play XV or Stigmon. Then you can DNA, and if you do, it gains protection for the turn and blocker. I think it's protection until the end of your opponent's turn. This Digimon effect, yeah, this effect DNA Digivolve can be deleted in battle and gains blocker. And then Tamers, Davis, Searcher, of course, and then Davis and Ken, arguably the best card in the deck now, being able to play your free Searchers, free anything, and then you pop off is super, super good. So congrats to him to be able to get into first place with Imperial. Next we're going to talk about is the Newmon decks. So this is second place, Mario Massacre. Again, this is what Newmon looks like nowadays, with all the Ukos, with the Newmon, with the Chuchikuri, Volk, Edamon, you know, all this good stuff. I don't really want to talk about it because we've talked about it so much. And we know it's great. This is now 4th place, Gary Mifsud. As you can tell, it was like not even a change really. It might be a subtle change here and there with a ratio because he's running Digimon Emperor instead of Louis. But that's really about it on the differences. Next we're looking at is 11th place, Luis Villaseca Carreno Joseph. That's a long ass name. This is 11th place. Again, you're saying thing. The only difference is he is running the Rapid X, which is a pretty cool tech. This deck can definitely run it if you decided to do it. So when Digivolve spell your opponent's Digimon, then this Digimon may attack. All turns while Rapidmon or X buys in this sources, all your opponent's suspended Digimon gets -4k. All turns will turn when an opponent's Digimon is deleted. It's deleted in battle or by having 0 DP, gain 2 memory. So this card can really work well in Newmon. We don't really see it too much in today's in English for sure. But it's pretty good. Definitely a good choice in my opinion. And then he's running Trident Arm as a option, which is pretty good. You know, you de-digivolve and then force an attack. So another way to get like an Edamon pseudo effect if you have a low 5 on board. Pretty good. And finally, the 4th Newmon of the day is 16th place, Marco Paichi. I'm sorry if I butchered you guys' names. Yeah, nothing different. The only thing he's running is the Garymon. He's running a Venusmon in this version at least. I think they all were running Venus. No Venus. 2 Venus here and then 1 Venus there. So Garymon can like work with Venusmon kind of, so it can be do some shenanigans, you know. But besides that, that's the only real difference. Next we're going to talk about is Mirage. This is 3rd place, Theodorus Pulitidis. Mirage again is another deck I'm going to try to speed run through because it's not much difference compared to what we've seen in the past. Mirage does Mirage things and still a good deck, right? Nothing crazy. Only thing difference really is Hammer Spark and Ice Wall. No kill spell. That's what they usually play. And then he's super high in the mental blue memory boost, which makes sense for me. Next Mirage list, this is 10th place, Robert Geffel Mirage. Again, Nothing really out of ordinary, nothing crazy. The only difference is he's running Ice Wall and 2 Full Metal Blades, so he wants the kill options, potential, and security. Nothing too crazy about that. Next we're going to talk about is Magna X is a 5th place Benedict Hartfield's Magna's deck list. Again, we're at a point where Magna's Vmon Armor's version, at least, it's pretty, I hate to say, pretty standard at this point. The only difference is your options can vary, but you know, you got your slew of VMONs that searches the deck. You have your VMON for the plus 2k inheritable, and this lets you Evo for 1 cheaper as well. Same with the promo VMON, so you gotta kind of play those cards in this deck. All your Magnamons, Zudo Ace I think is still a good card you can play in the deck. Magna X, we already know what it does. Death X, kind of needed in this deck as a way to deal with Newmon on board at times. Blinding Ray, Final Zubara Punch, Awakening, and Heaven's Judgment is all cards we see quite often in Vmon Armor's deck. Blue Men Boost is another card that we see kind of a lot nowadays. Being able to search your deck for any of your Vmons or Magnamons basically is pretty good. Full Metal Blaze is a tech card I'm seeing this person's playing as well. It seems like a lot of players are playing this again. So this effect lets you return 2 of your opponent's level 4 low Digimon to the owner's hand, so that means that deals with a Newmon board easier. Then if your opponent has 8 or more cards in the hand, return 1 of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck, so you can definitely like clear board pretty easily with it. And then Tamers, promo Davis is a must. Davis, Memory Tamer, good searcher, and then Shu Yulin is also a good tamer to give that aggression that Magna X needs for the deck to give Alliance and the swing 2 checks and stuff. Really good. Next we have is the 13th place Unknown. I guess that person didn't want his name on it. Alright. But yeah, it's basically the same deck that we just saw. The only difference is he's running a Jesmon GX combo. So Jesmon GX lets you be able to tuck a Magnamon underneath it. So you can tuck Magna X, you can tuck any of the Magnamons if you need to, because they're all Royal Knights. Holy Warrior, yep, Royal Knights, yep. All of them, including this one. So you're able to tuck him, gain effects, and he has Blitz as well when he evos, so it's really good. Being able to give this protection is kind of crazy when you think about. Plus all the boosts you can get from you know, Magna X as well. It's pretty cool. Everything else the same outside of Jesmon. Next we have is 6th place Gil Bernardo's Phoenix X deck. So this is the first time we've seen Phoenix Mon pop up in a regional / Ulti Cup. Phoenix Mon is a good deck nowadays, and I think this deck can, you know, do things. I seen the boy Gino play this deck a lot more. I seen him play against Magna X, and this deck can, you know, speed run against Magna, which is kind of crazy. And you know, the one thing that people always say that, you know, Magna X gatekeeps decks, and if you can't beat Magna, you kind of irrelevant. This deck can kind of do it. So let's jump into it. So first off, I hate how unorganized this is. Like, it's not even like sorted. I don't think I can sort it, which is weird. But anyways, sorry. Biomon, got all Biomon, so he's running 9 Biomons, kind of low in my opinion, but the way this deck works, you can kind of recover a lot of your cards, so like it doesn't matter. So he's running the Searcher. This is the one that lets you search top 3, add any 1 red Digimon Vacine trait and 1 red Tamer, which is really good. And then inherit it on deletion, and your red Tamer gain a memory. Card is super good for that consistency of finding those cards. I forgot to mention Yokomon. So anyone doesn't know what this does. This lets you on deletion return 1 Digimon card with avian, bird, beast, animal, or sovereign other than sea animal from his traits from your trash to his hand. So a good way to recover things from the trash. Really good. BT15 Biomon is really good as well. Lets you start your main phase by trashing 1 Digimon card with avian, bird, beast, animal, or sovereign. You can search the top 4 cards of the deck, add 1 red card among them to your hand. So that doesn't mean you can add any Digimon, option, or tamer, and it's really good. You know what I'm saying? And then inheritable, once per turn, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, gain a memory. You do that quite frequently with their effects being able to either attack or trash the security, so that effect can pop off quite easily. And then he's running the one of EX1 Biomon. So this lets you, when attacking, once per turn, when this Digimon attacks a player, draw one. So give you that draw ability is pretty good. I've seen, from my understanding, that this deck runs a lower amount, a low 4s. So you have the Saber Digimon that lets you have Raid Retail on body, and then Inherited on deletion, return one of your opponents, one of your red or purple Digimon cards from your trash to the hand. He's running the Bergemon. Let's see, let's just go in order. A Kilomon, which is interesting. I haven't seen Kilomon being used in this deck, but I can see why. So on play with Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k or less. And then Inheritable on deletion, draw one. Being able to draw is always really good. EX1 Bergemon, when attacking, when the Digimon attacks a player, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k or less. So again, as a way to deal with Newmon boards as well. We have is BT11 Bergemon. This has blocker on body and then Inheritable. On deletion, you may play one red tamer with play cost 4 or less from your hand without paying a cost. And then we have the BT15 Bergemon. So when Digivolving, return one red Digimon with blah 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 from your trash from your hand. And then Inheritable, gain a memory when security is removed. Really, really good. So combo that with BT15 Bio, you can gain 2 memory. You can do more things. Really, really good. Your low 5s, you're gonna have to Garuda Ace, so you obviously could ace it and then play a tamer for free and then blow a blocker. This is why this deck is really good against Magna X, I think, in my opinion, because this card right here. So once they lose their protection and they try to go swing and they can't activate their own, they can't trash their own security in their own way, so they have to attack. You could go Blast Digivolve, go into this, play a tamer, and then delete a blocker. So Magna X is natively a blocker, so this can deal with it, and then, you know, they have to deal with the repercussions after that, depending on what happens in security or whatever with Magnamon. And then he's running Garudamon from BT11, I believe. Yes, it is. So this has blocker on body, and then on deletion, you may play one red tamer, play cost 4 or less. This is the BT13 Garudamon. This lets you on play with Digivolve, you may play one red tamer card with play cost 3 or less from your hand while playing the cost. On deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6k or less. So being able to have a full stack and delete a lot of Digimon board is really good. And then I don't know about the star of the show, but Garuda X is up there with Phoenix X in my opinion. So this lets you Evo over Garudamon for free, and then on play when Digivolving, return one red Digimon card from your trash in hand. Then you have Garuda or X anybody. This can delete Digimon with as much or less DPS as Digimon. And then once return, when a red card returns from your trash to your hand, one of your Digimon gains rush, so you'll be able to give anything rush. This includes yourself. If you play a Garuda this turn, go into this for free, give itself rush, then you can start swinging. And then Inherited, trash on deletion, trash the top card of your opponent's security, which can happen quite easily. He's running Volk Ace. Volk Ace, great card. I can see why you're running in this deck. And then now there's two, you know, the reason why this deck works so well nowadays. Phoenix Mon from BT15. So on play, on deletion, if your opponent has 3 or 4 security cards, delete one of their Digimon with the lowest DP, and then 4 or more, trash top card of security. And then with Digivolve, you may play one red Digimon card with 5k or less, or one red tamer from your hand while paying the cost. So being able to potentially like board swarm or get more of your tamers that you need is super important. And then Phoenix X does a lot. You Evo for 5 over a 5. Phoenix Mon costs a 2. He gains Blitz, so you can you know, swing still after you Evoing. And then this card gains your on deletions as of end of attack, which is crazy. So all your on deletion effects from your inheritables becomes the end of attack, and then they just stack and just keep on rolling, which is pretty crazy. And then his own on deletion is you may play one 11k DP or lower red Digimon card with Avion Bird, blah blah blah. And it's traced from your hand without paying the cost. Leave one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP from this effect played. Phoenix X just does so much for this deck, it's crazy. And then options, he's running X Antibody, so you can swing, you know, Evo to X Antibody, which is really good. Protoform, reduce the Evo cost by 1, and then, you know, do your shenanigans. For offense training is a must. Red Men Boost, is really good too. And then Wings of Love, for anyone who doesn't know what this does, this lets you for 2 costs play 1 red tamer card with play cost of 4 less. Then if you have a tamer with Sora in its name, return 1 red Digimon from your trash to your hand, get that recovery, really good. And then Crimson Blaze added 1 of, and then only Sora, which is kind of interesting because I see the others get played as well, Akiho and Christy, because Christy lets you warp into the Garudamon. So Sora lets you, I think this, because this is more of a regular stack version. I've seen a lot of decks go more like just skipping the champion, playing like 6 champions or 7 champions, something like on the low end, because you can easily warp with like Christy and all that stuff. It was just pretty cool. Sora lets you, it's a memory tamer, and then when a red Digimon card returns from your trash to hand, but returns the tamer to the hand, you may play 1 13k DP or lower red Digimon card other than blah blah from its trace from your hand while paying the cost. For each of your opponent's security type, remove 2k from this effect playable card. So you know, you could arguably play Phoenix Smart for free and then go into Phoenix X. You can do a lot of shenanigans with that. Really cool to see Burbs, KFC, however you want to call it, make a top for sure. Next we had is the 3 Lugamons we're going to talk about. So this is 7th place on Engo Tien, Lugamon's deck list. Lugamon, we kind of know what it does now, right? Being able to get that new Lugar lets you unsuspend as well as inherit was really good. But this one is not playing the old Lugar either, so he's running this new Lugar, old Lugar, and then the Dino B at 2 of, which is interesting. And then your rookie lineups, your Lugas, you got your Ukos. So Dino B lets you play Uko for free as well, or play itself if you have another one, and then B will give Rush to give that extra swing. You know, Fenrir can now do like, I think it was like 7-8 checks now with the Dino B. So you do your shenanigans with the Fenrir combo, then you go Dino B, DNA. That Dino B can swing, and then that Digimon you play off of the Dino B can also swing. So it gets pretty crazy what it can do. And your options: Wisdom Training, Purple Men Boost, Crimson Blaze, you already know the deal. Analog Use, AG is a must. Yeah, and that's all Lugar for you. Next we have is 8th place Manu Angelo. Ironically, all Lugas went from 7, 8, and 9, which is funny. He's running a little bit different compared to the other one. He's got Gazimons in it. He has no Ukos. He's running Dorugamon, I should say. So this gives collision to your opponent's Digimon and I'll play when Digivolving. By trash one card in your hand, draw 1. Then if you have Tamer with SOC in his trace, until the end of your opponent's turn, when a Digimon gains start of your main phase, this Digimon attacks. So you can, you know, force an attack and, you know, maybe block question mark or something. I'm not sure why you would force an attack. There's no aces or anything. If the person who played this deck, so you know, man, Angela, if you see this, please give us comment on the video. Let us know why the Dorugamon in this deck list for sure. Everything else is pretty regular nowadays. Nothing too crazy. He's running a Chimeramon instead of the Dino Beamon, which is interesting. Maybe he just didn't have Dino Beam. Who knows? And yeah, 2 Lugar, 2 Lugar, 3 of the new Lugar. That's an interesting lineup. Again, I'm wondering if it's because he just didn't have all the necessary parts, or maybe he really felt that's how the deck feels pretty good for him. Not sure. Fenrir, of course, X-Anybody Protoform is getting more popular in this deck because it makes sense to play it. Full Wisdom, Crimson Blaze, Analog Unit, AG for sure. Next is 9th place Villasech Loan Lugamon deck. This is more what looks like from the 8th place version, 7th place version with the Dino B, with the Ukos, with you know, version for sure. And he's running Dex, no Crimson Blaze surprisingly, running 4 Wisdom and then 3 Purple Men Boost. Pretty regular at this point of what it does. It's pretty cool. And next we have is Machinedramon. This is a second Machinedramon top. I'm so happy for Machinedramon to be able to top in this format, which is pretty crazy. Purple base once again, so 4 Mirror eggs makes sense. Gives you all that draw and trashing ability that you want. And then the Koromon egg, I mean, he doesn't run any red options, so it doesn't matter. It's just there for the draw when you check his security. 8 Ukos, and that's it. That's his rookies. Yeah, 8 Ukos. Makes sense, right? Uko can do things. Carries his deck for sure. And low 4s, only 2. One Ramon and 1 Mercurymon. Again, I wonder if he just didn't have enough Ramons or something. I don't know. Only one of it's kind of crazy. And then his low 5, so he's running, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17 low 5s. Crazy. Kind of your regular, what you expect as your low 5s lineups. The only difference really is the Cyberdramon. This one is all turns while you have suspended tame and play. This Digimon gains plus 2k. You don't see that as much, but I can see why. I can see why it gets played. Megadramon is a really good card. You already know what it does. Metal Greymon, Metal Minimon. The EX1 package is all not there, I should say. It's just the Megadramon and Metal Minimon, it looks like. Yep. Rapidmon, Megadramon to pop Tamers. Makes sense, especially against a format where Digi Emperor is very prevalent. It's a really good way to counter it. Metal Greymon to attack with unsuspended Digimon, always really good. Metal Tyrannomon plus Rapid, more ways to trash sources, trash security. And then 2 Metal Greymon security with secret Metal Greymon, which is interesting. If you somehow get both, that's a plus 6k, which is kind of crazy. He's running EX1 Machinedramon at 4 of, 4 Chaos Dramon, 1 Chaos X, and a Death X. No searchers either. It's kind of crazy. He's not running the no mem boost or training boost, not even the supreme connection, which is crazy. He's going straight 4 attacking the heavy, and then this is the first time I've seen this Digi Emperor being played in Machinedramon, but I could definitely see why. I think all these type of decks that are like super heavy on your 5 and 6s seem to want to play Digimon Emperor, because to slow down your opponent's Newmon specifically, right? With the Ukos and all that good stuff. Kind of makes sense, right? And then 4 Analog Mans and 2 Tai, which is going heavy on the Tamers for sure. I feel like you could probably get away with maybe cutting Digimon Emperor to 1 or to 2 or something. I don't know. Interesting. Hard drive. He's not even running like I said, Supreme Connection is super important with the hard drive Machinedramon version. You don't give him as much memory when you do that. So pretty interesting. I would love to hear why he didn't run that. That's for sure, because it's pretty cool to see he did that with like a more old school variant of Machinedramon. Feels like with new school stuff with the Ukos and stuff like that. Next we have is Yellow Vacine armors. You kind of know what this does as well. You got your Patamon package, Patamon plus TKs. You got your aces as well. You got your rapids that you need. Your Rapid X, Magna X, Venus, Shine Gray, Rumo, Death X, Emissary, Physical Awakening, and Heaven's Judgment. Yeah, it's Yellow Vacine. We already know what it does. A lot of people talking about this deck needs to get hit, specifically Patamon and Emissary. I don't know if Patamon necessarily needs to get hit, but I think Emissary needs to get be limited to 1, because it's the same type of card as MDF, HPD. And I think those type of cards should always be limited, at least minimum. But hey, we'll see when the time comes, if that ever happens. And finally, the surprise of the tournament for sure, for me at least, 15 plays Tomzon running Jessmon. Running Jessmon in this form in this economy is kind of crazy to me, right? Yeah, so Jessmon does Jessmon things. You got your Searcher Huckmon, you got your other Huckmons that lets you grab Look top 5, grab all Systemons, and you have the new the ST12 one, I'm sorry. When you play Digimon with Systemon's name, gain a memory, and it all turns while this Digimon has Hakumon's name or Royal Knights. Gain 1k all turns, so that's pretty cool. You got your Systemon block lineup 2 and 2. You got the trash one, draw 2, the one that gets draw 1, and then blocker. Your seals, gain a memory and plus 2k to everything. The one that lets you evo plus gain a memory as well. This is the one that lets you search top 3, add Hakumon or Royal Knights to your hand, and then trash the rest, and then gives reboot to your Digimon. Whoops. And then it's Systemon block, which is interesting. This lets you recover 1 if you need it, which is cool. Low 4s, your 8 Bow Huck, makes sense. Low 5s, surprised he only has the BT8 Savior, BT7 Savior at 1, because this card is at 4. BT6, I'm so sorry. Only at 1, which is interesting. This card is probably the best Savior Huck still, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Pretty crazy. Savior Huck, this is the the SC12 one, so when Digivolving, this Digimon may also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon for the turn. And then Inheritable, play Systemon from your hand, basically. Pretty good. And then 2 Chimeramon expected in this deck. You can hard Evo or, you know, DNA, which helps, which matters. Just X, he's not running the Star Deck Jessamon. He's not even running the BT13 stuff. I just realized this. Oh my god. This is like as old school as you can get on a Jessamon deck. That is crazy to me. Jessamon X, piercing when Digivolving, play Systemon, gain effects. Genko X lets you play Systemon as well from trash though instead. Then you're unaffected by DP minus, and then or returns a hand and deck, and gains plus 2k for every all turns instead of your opponent's turn, which is really good. And then GX for the finale, and from Master Disciple as your option. Again, this is kind of crazy. This is a super old school Jessamon deck. I'm surprised to see it make it, honestly, top 16. It is super crazy in my opinion. But with that being said, Tamers, you know, this is the Meta Snapshot. If you guys would like to see more from us when it comes to Meta Snapshots, please subscribe to us, hit that like button as well, and let us know in the comments on what do you think of this top 16 breakdown. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.